Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai's peace be bestowed unto you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando. I'm just back with this video here. Watching this video, a lot of things come to mind. Just as far as why the laws and ordinances of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai need to be not only established on earth, but the true judges that need to be established as well. All right. Being that we are in a world where it's nothing but peril, danger. And in this land of the valley of the shadow of death, where people are seeking to their own will, people are doing their own thing. These people have Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai not on their mind whatsoever. It just goes to show you, and like the head brother of my camp says all the time, concerning how it's a private meeting in public. That conversation going back to the Heavenly Father and the sons. Part of that conversation, that counsel, the Lord is showing us, Lord, when we be at that number, do we see why righteousness needs to be established on earth? This is a part of that lesson that the Heavenly Father is showing to his sons. Because I could tell you, the elect men are in a complete agreement. We see that's why I'm gonna go to this in Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26 and starting at 7. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright doest weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. So you see, because as I'm about to play this video, and we have examples, because another thing I was meditating on while I was watching this video was going back to the whole law dealing with grape. Now, the particular woman in this video, she wasn't penetrated, but nevertheless, the fact that the ordinances of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai are not established in the earth, well, you wouldn't have things like this happen. And as I always say, dealing with watching these videos, you read some of these comments. And of course, I'm going to play the video, most of it. But some of these comments, one posted, homegirl has zero survival instincts. And it's funny because I made a post. Or saw a post. Of course, it was some little funny skit or whatever, but nevertheless, there was much truth to it. Because in this video, I saw it was a man and a woman, and from the man's perspective, he's looking at all threats. All right, he's just circumspect. He's aware, calling out potential threats. This guy looks suspicious. That guy looks like a pedophile, so on and so forth. And from the woman's perspective, she's just in la la land. She's in an Ezel spirit, just in la la land. She's just not aware of her surroundings whatsoever. And like I said, it was supposed to be a funny little skit or whatever, but it's the truth. And that's why there's getting ready to be a rude awakening, mainly for you women. All right. As order is being reestablished on the earth, because order, accountability is like kryptonite to women as well as men, being that a lot of these men, they're under that woman vibration. They're under a woman's vibration. They have a woman-like spirit on them. So to the men and women, and of course talking about the 2/3, they don't want to get ordered. They want to have fun. They want to live according to the pleasures of the lust of the flesh. And then you wonder why you're put in uncertain predicaments. In a lot of cases, you end up losing your life, and you wonder why. Well, again, going back to the private meeting in public, that conversation, the elect see why judgment, the hope for the elect, we see why the ordinances of Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai are, they need to be established on earth. We see. And things like this wouldn't be happening. But on another note, the Lord is teaching us the important, being that, Lord willing, we're going to be put in these positions of judgment, to where we're going to have to dish out judgment. We're going to have to judge certain situations and things of that nature. That's already happening now amongst ourselves, amongst the body, in our personal lives. But on a more grand scale of things in the kingdom, when we have to judge the nations, right? But I'm going to read a few more of these comments, because, going through some of these comments, like I said, read some of these comments sometimes, because it seems like a lot of people don't have sympathy for this particular chick that, she was put in a real uncomfortable situation. Like I said, she wasn't penetrated, but nevertheless, if she walked dealing with wisdom, was like this comment says here, says, she said, I don't do well under pressures. So she just followed some random dude. Right. So, like I said, from reading some of these comments, it appears that a lot of people don't have sympathy for this particular chick that was put in this uncomfortable situation. Right. And of course, I have my opinions, because at this point, I don't feel sorry for these people. I don't feel sorry for anyone outside of the elect. I don't feel sorry for these people. These people, they're getting ready to get everything that they deserve. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to play this video, and fair use, copyright disclaimer. I'm not making any type of monetary gain off of this video. All right. Like I said, this is a video uploaded by Uncovered off of YouTube. I came across this video, and I thought I'd speak on it because, like I said, a lot of things come to mind. Of course, a lot of precepts come to mind. But this is why the ordinances of Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shai need to be established on the earth, and the true judges need to be set back up in power. So you see the title. And without further ado, we're going to play this video. And let me speed this up. So without further ado.
What's up? Okay, where's this guy? So what exactly happened?
I was sitting with waiting for him because I used to wait for him at the door so we could start our workout. And then he was like about to go in, and then he saw me. He was like, "Do you want to participate in our free massage?" And I was like, "No, I don't know. Maybe I have to go do my workout first." And he was like, "No, you should start my massage." And then I don't do really well under pressure, so I just said yeah. And then he took me to the room, and he told me to just stay on here for a little bit. He said I could walk it, but I felt like I was paralyzed. And then he came back a couple times, and he started massaging me. He was like, "You can give me a good tip after this," or whatever. And he started massaging. Like at first it was just a massage, but then I was up, and then he started massaging me. Took off my shoes, started massaging my feet, and touching, like getting up here. But he put like a thing in between here because he was like, just don't
hot tub.
and I came out and I was like, I was looking for my boyfriend because I was like, I don't even know if he actually works because I've never seen him before. And that's when I kind of started panicking.
Which room did it happen in?
It was in the massage room with the first
Is there any cameras in there?
I believe so. There's a camera like in the hall facing.
Does this guy work for you?
No, he has a membership. Like I said, since I started, apparently he's been here all day. The people before me, like my manager told me that his membership's like 3, and we can't get him out. He has a membership. He's paying for stuff, so I'm like,
really scary.
Oh, I understand. Just so you know, if you are pressing charge, I still have to talk to him, and I'm hoping that you guys have some sort of video just to help your case. But that would mean you'd have to go to court. Just so you know. So you're okay with that? Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot that could be said, and this can be dissected so many ways, but let me grab this real quick. Bear with me as I look for it. It's going to be Genesis. Because for one, you know, when it comes to these women, they're as cold as it may sound, but that's the thing about it. All right, you can't be emotional. You know, that's why we always talk about how even when it comes to reading these scriptures, you can't read it with a Western mindset. You can't be emotional. And that's why I wanted to look through some of the comments, because to an extent, you know, this particular chick, this young lady, she does have to be held accountable to an extent. She has to hold some type of accountability. First of all, where's your man? And wherever he was, why weren't you by his side? You see, because, you know, I believe I've mentioned this before in the past, how, you know, I watch a lot of these like these serial, you know, rapists, these individuals that target, you know, the more vulnerable. And oftentimes in these interviews, they're asked certain of these questions on how do they pick their targets and things of that nature. And a lot of it has to do with, again, how vulnerable, in particular when it comes to women, you know, because obviously, as a man, a woman that's by her man's side, obviously that man is going to be a deterrent. But, and this is why I say this all the time, as a man, as men are predators, you know, and you women are prey. And that's just the food chain of things. All right. Men are predators. All right. We're conquerors. Men like to conquer. You see, and you women are prey. And most of the time you're easy targets if you don't have that let me grab this if I can find it. Well, I will find it, Lord willing. Yeah, Genesis 24. Genesis 24. Because the scriptures say, where there is no hedge, that possession is going to become a spoil. That possession is going to get taken. And that's why I said, as order is more and more being reestablished on the earth, you women are going to find out why you do need a man's protection. Because you are a possession. Whether you want to hear it or not, you are a possession. All right. And again, without that hedge, you're an easy target. You're an easy target. So I'm going to grab this in Genesis 24, and this is just one of many accounts of how things were conducted back in the ancient world. Because for one, as a woman, being that you are the weaker vessel, you are more vulnerable mentally, spiritually, physically. And especially in this dangerous world, you shouldn't be going anywhere by yourself. You should have some type of a company. You see, because oftentimes in the ancient world, when women went out, whether it be to shopping or whatever the case may be, a woman, she had a sort of I believe you would call it a chaplain or a chaperone or some sort of company. All right. Genesis 24. I'm going to start at verse. Bear with me. I'm going to just get to the point. Genesis 24. In verse 58. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And he said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah, their sister. So did they send her out by herself? Well, when you read on, it says, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant, and his men. So you see, like I said, and this is just one of many examples of how it's supposed to be done. You shouldn't be going anywhere, be anywhere by yourself. Something that I tell, if I go out with my woman, my children, you know, I tell them stay on my hip, you know. And what I mean by that is basically stay in my point of view, you know. You shouldn't be in my blind spot. All right. But stay on my hip, you know, stay on my at least my peripheral view. You know, that's just something that, you know, me, that's just how I am, how I conduct myself, you know, because I saw another video where some bugged out dude, man, some demon tried to take a kid off the street, and the father and the mother were standing right there. Now that they had their back turned for a few seconds, but you know, I mean, it can happen that quick. And that's why, hey, you know, it will behoove brothers to and of course, anoint yourself, anoint your families. All right. Because, hey, you know, these are the times that we're living in. And just like that, you know, anything can happen just like that. You know, so like I said, man, this is just one of many accounts. Because, hey, it's a ruthless world. And they say USA, right, which is supposed to stand for United States of America. But I say under Satan's authority. USA under Satan's authority. And with that being said, hey, it's the devil's playground. So, you know, the demons, they're running rampant out here, man. These spirits, they're running rampant out here, man. So you got to be circumspect. You got to be aware. So, like I said, dealing with this situation, like I said, I have my opinions about it. Because to me, hey, listen, where's the accountability? First of all, why are you going anywhere by yourself? You know, and like I said, man, knowing how, understanding the mind of women, how women operate, how they conduct themselves, they're children. They're like children. You know, when you go into the anywhere, grocery store, any place, man, hey, your attitude should be in and out. In and out. But what do you women like to do? You like to be in that Ezel spirit, that la spirit, just la-li-da-di-da, right? just completely unaware, uncircumspect, just not aware whatsoever. You know, you got to be in that hasteful spirit, man, because you never know. Shit could pop off at any moment. You know, we're on a spiritual warfare. So, I mean, hey, you got to hold yourself accountable. Because this is something I even tell my demon, you know, if she decides to go out, hey, if it's against my will, hey, don't call me. You know, you want to go out against my will, although I giving you stronger advice not to. Well, hey, don't. If something happens, don't call my phone. And that's just how I am. And now it happens rarely, but nevertheless, hey, that one time can be it. that one time can be it. In some cases, in extreme cases, hey, yeah. And this is the type I am. This is just how I am. All right, I will block your number. You know, I will block your number, man. Don't call me. I've done it plenty of times. You know, and it's crazy because a couple of years ago, it was one of those instances where, hey, against my will, you know, the demon, she was calling my phone up, blowing my phone up, and I just so happened to answer, and she was complaining about someone basically talking shit. And I could hear the dude in the background. That's what's crazy about it. I could hear the dude in the background, you know. She just asked me, what do I need to do and this and that. I'm just like, hey, what do you want me to say? You know, I don't know what happened, but you know how these women drive, because she was driving, you know, and she was up the street actually from where we were staying. But like I said, man, it was one of those things where one of those days I was like, nah, man, don't go out. You know, and she decided that she wanted to go out regardless. After I told her not to, well, hey, and you see that be the Lord, you know, that be the Lord, man. You know, shaking them up, man. You know, because like the scriptures say, by terrible things and righteousness, the Lord, you know, he answers us, he deals with us. Well, despite what you women have been taught, being that you've been put on this pedestal, you walk around like you can't get touched. Well, hey, Yahweh Shema Shai is not biased, all right? And you are touchable. You know, so, you know, that one particular situation, calling my phone up, all worried and shit, scared and shit, nervous and shit, as you should be. In cases like that, you should be nervous. Because once you go outside of a means of protection, hey, that's it. It's free game. It's free game. Once you go outside of that man's protection, it's free game. Like I said, hey, there's certain instances where, hey, I'm going to block your number. So don't call me if something happens. Don't call me. And outside of that, hey, you're at that moment, hey, you're outside of my protection. You're outside of my hedge. So it's free game. I got nothing for you. You know? But you women got to learn. She called me up that day, and I heard dude talking. I heard him talking shit. It was Northern Kingdom, so he was talking that Spanish. But you know, I heard him talking shit in the background. I'm just like, what do you want me to do? Shit, I ain't got nothing for you, man. So, you women in particular, man, better stop playing. You know, there was another instance, another case. And it's crazy because I had just left the house. It hadn't been 10 minutes. And she called my phone thinking that someone was trying to break in because she heard the door handle jiggle. Now, thankfully, it wasn't one of those days where she pissed me off or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I ended up turning back around and, you know, just staying around for a bit or two, you know, a minute or two. You know, scoping the scene or whatever, but it was nothing. But hey, that was just one of those things. Hey, the Lord showing her ass like, hey, stop playing, stop playing around. You know, that's why I always say, hey, to those of us in the know, we walk in eggshells. All right, our power is not one to play with. You know, Jake wanted to walk around here thinking that the Lord is one to fuck with. Y'all about to find out the Lord is not one to fuck with, man. Stop playing with the Lord. Stop playing with the Lord. And y'all going to feel how the Lord feels about his men as well. Stop fucking around with the Lord's men. Stop playing with the Lord's men. Y'all going to find that out too. Stop playing with the Lord and stop playing with his men. So, like I said, man, there's a lot that can be said. There's a lot that can be said, and this can be dissected so many ways, right? But, and on top of that, you know, notice the young lady, and that's why, again, you women think that the laws are grievous and things of that nature, you know, but it's for your betterment. It's for your protection. Because you women walking around here, I'm going to put it like this. If you dress like a firefighter, I'm going to expect you to fight fires. I'm gonna put it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. If you dress like a firefighter, I expect you to put out fires. I expect you to fight fires. So you women complaining about the whole dressing moderately, all right? You know, like my brother, man, you know, the Elder Kabar in my camp, hey, he always says, hey, I got $5, man, and I expect change. You see? But yet you women want to be treated like queens, right? Which there is no such thing as a queen in Israel, all right? And on top of that, a queen, it goes back to a whore. Yeah, there is no such thing as a queen, all right? You know, you women, I can't say you are, but you're supposed to be princesses, all right? The princesses of Israel. But that comes with a certain way that you conduct yourself as well, including your apparel, the way that you dress. So, like I said, a lot can be said, and this can be dissected so many ways. But playing on some more.
You might come out. I want to ask you some questions about what happened. Come on, man. Okay. I'm asking you to get out. You gotta get out. Okay. Well, there's somebody out there that says put hands on him. So,
Sir, I'm a federal officer. I ain't put my hands on nobody. Richard Anthony person. None of your motherfucking business. Give me your captain here. Cut on the motherfucking. Hey, you touching me?
yeah, because you're coming up to me.
Most definitely I am. Because I know my
I'm not
right.
coming up at you aggressive. So calm down.
I'm
over here.
I got to do what I must do to desist myself.
I need you to get out.
You don't need me to do.
Yeah. Get out.
Man, I'm a bad member of this. Okay, but you know what you want. Oh, yes, sir. Why you told me? What's up, sir? What's up, my brother? I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? With one of my friends? Yes.
Female?
Yes. Okay. Chubby girl? Okay. None of your motherfucking business. Lady, what's wrong?
No, just leave her alone. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. We'll go talk right there. Why don't you tell me what happened with her?
No, I don't know. You tell me what happened.
No, here, man. Go over there.
What man? You man? Come on, man.
Come on.
What's going on here?
Well, I'd like to talk to you.
Okay, what's going on here?
I'd like to talk to you.
I don't got to move because
Say
nothing.
you put hands on her. She didn't want you put hands on her.
Sir, please stop playing, sir.
That's fine. I'm trying to talk to you. Let's go over there.
No, he was standing right here. No. Well, take her to the hospital then. If I put hands on her, that would be marks on her.
You were rubbing on her.
No.
So what were you guys doing in the massage room?
None of your business, young man.
Okay, well, so you're admitting that you were.
No, I was not admitting anything until you give me your sergeant here.
You don't need my
Oh,
sergeant.
sir, I need your sergeant.
No, you don't. So what's your name?
None of your motherfucking
I'm
business.
asking you to identify yourself.
And I'm telling you to go
Okay,
get your
so
sergeant.
domestic battery investigation. Or I'm sorry, this is a battery investigation.
Go get your sergeant, sir.
No, we're not playing this game. We're not. You're not going to
Sir,
move around. You're going to stay right here.
sir,
You're going to stay
why
right
is
here.
you touching me when you told me to stay over here away from her? Now, and you grabbing me because, oh, sir, I didn't do anything to you. You grabbing me. Why is you touching me? It's against my First Amendment right. I'm not talking to nobody until you get your sergeant here because I understand my constitutional right. Give me your motherfucking sergeant here because you antagonizing me.
You're the one that started all this.
I didn't do nothing. Give me your sergeant, boy. Give me your sergeant, boy. None of your business. I'm a band member here.
Failing to identify yourself.
I'm a band member here. Okay, sir, I just want your sergeant. I gave you a direct order or a direct
You're not my
command
supervisor, so
to
you
give
can't
me
get me.
sergeant.
Let's start off with your name and I'll get you my sergeant.
Dick person.
That's not your name. What's your full legal name?
Dick person.
Okay, what's your birthday, Mr. Dick?
Dick person, sir.
Okay.
Give me your sergeant here. You can't get nothing. That's against the law. That's against the company policy to give up my information. I don't give a what's she at large. Let's go to court.
I know, that's why there's
I don't give a let's go argue for the judge.
I know, that's why there's always two sides to every
I don't give a I didn't do nothing. Let the judge and the lie detector settle it all.
All right, Richard. witnesses here now. So before you say anything, I just want to let you know you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. One will be appointed to represent you for any questioning if you wish. Do you understand these rights?
God, what's up, my man? We're here talking. No, we're here. You're not. What's up, Sarge? Disturbing my peace, Sarge. What's up?
We're here for battery
What's up? I ain't did nothing to nobody. Everything on camera, my brother. And I will take a ladder check, a breathalyzer, and a fingerprints analyzed. I did not touch no one inappropriate. I did not assault anyone. Everything that I did was recorded, and I got recorded. But you got to call corporate to allow me to play the recording for you, because everything I do is recorded. Where is it? Sir, with my person. So you talk to corporate. So, sir, talk to corporate, because if corporate told me to surrender the video to you, I would surrender the video to you. Okay, sir. I work for PNC Investment Group, a private company that analyze business from the inside out, and we make things pop. I've been giving out free promotional to everybody in the gym tonight, man and both women.
What is the promotion?
The promotional is I buy them anything that they want on the company credit card account, any gym membership. I have multiple clients throughout that take me up on my offer. I've been walking people around, helping people picking up weight, but I never disrespected nobody because corporate trained me in the way of avoiding lawsuits. Sir, I understand that I'm explaining it to them. When the police woke up to me early, I didn't know what they was looking for, because what was I doing, officer?
In the hot tub.
In a hot tub, swimming, jumping out the pool, doing what PNC Investment Group is paying me to do.
That's who you work for?
Yes. I do not work for them, but PNC Investment Group is an independent company that evaluate businesses and get it to pop.
Okay. What was the last thing that you bought for somebody here today?
Let's see. I bought that young lady a massage right there. What is that massage? I don't know, because wherever she said it happened.
I didn't talk to her.
I will go to her and see. I don't know.
Is there a masseuse that works here right now?
Well, sir, I don't know, because I'm not a part of that company. I'm with PNC Investment Group. How much buyer? It didn't cost her nothing.
Well, how much did it cost you?
It didn't cost me nothing, because it comes with the company.
Are you the person that gives the massages?
No, I'm not the big in the massages.
Who does? Oh, the bed?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't do nothing to nobody. Without their permission.
What's that?
Without their permission.
Gotcha.
So you ask permission to do anything you want. So you can have your whole system walk around the gym, because I've been giving it to everybody.
How long are the massages?
There's a time setting on a massage bed. So there's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 25. I think the young manager here said it for 26 minutes, and I think she was done in 20. And she got on the step massage. So whatever she said happened, we got video. You gotta go and tell her. Stop patronizing me, young man. Arrest me and give me my lawyer, or please take me at face value. Sir, I ain't got no story. I'm telling you what it is.
Do you have a recording of this?
Yes, sir, I do. And once PNC tell me to lower it to you, I will give it to you.
And the recording's on your phone or what?
Sir, it's on company database. And when they tell me to surrender it to you, I will surrender you upon their request. Because everything that I did today was actually recorded. Every transaction with everybody.
So that's pretty much the point there. You know, it's a bit of a tricky, sticky situation. All right, Slack, let me because this is going to connect to the Bluetooth. So bear with me a quick second as I'm starting this car up. Bear with me. Bear with me. Slovakia. The hell is this? Slovakia. Because I know when this thing connects, it can shut off on me. So I want to make sure this is connected real quick. Bear with me. Salakia. See, now this thing wants to give me problems. This shit never gets old, man. All right, fuck it. Let me just So slacky about that. So, like I was saying, you see how it's kind of a bit of a sticky situation, you know. And like I said, one of the things that I was just meditating on while I was watching this, you see, this is why, you know, dealing in the spirit, you know, just the spirit getting on brothers, you know. I often talk about to tell younger brothers to exercise that discernment, right? I'm gonna grab this real quick, because initially, of course, you know, watching the video, you'll think that the young lady, you know, just coming up and she was just